I never wanted to be a mother like this. I never wanted to raise my child alone. But life does not ask what we want. It just happens. My name is Isabella. When I was 24, I met a man named James. At that time, I worked in a shoe shop near the bus station. Every day after work, I walked home. One evening, it started to rain. I did not have an umbrella. I ran to a small shop and stood under the roof. James was already there. He looked at me and smiled. Bad weather, he said. Yes, I answered. I'm all wet. He laughed and gave me a towel from his bag. I said, thank you. We started talking. It was simple, but I felt warm inside. The rain stopped and we walked together. He asked if he could see me again. I said, yes, that was the beginning. That night, he told me he worked part-time in delivery. He was trying to save money for a better job. He said he wanted to start a family. One day, he made me feel safe. After a few months, I moved with him. I thought he loved me. I thought I was lucky. I cleaned, cooked, and helped him with everything. He did not have much money, but I did not care. I thought we would build a life together. One day I felt strange. I felt sick in the morning. I felt tired all the time. I went to the clinic. The nurse smiled and said, you are going to be a mother. I was scared, but I was also happy. I walked home fast and told James. He looked at me and said nothing for a long time. Then he said, okay, that's fine. But after that day, he changed. He stopped talking to me at night. He stayed out longer. He said he was tired. I believed him. I said, it's okay. I understand. I did not want to fight. I thought he needed time. I worked until my belly got big, my back hurt, my feet were sore. Still, I worked. James did not help at home. He said he was busy. I cooked and washed clothes. I cleaned the floor. I went to sleep late and woke up early. He never asked how I felt. When my son was born, I cried. He was small and soft. His skin was pink. I called him Leo. He looked like me. I held him close and said, I will always take care of you. James came to the hospital. He held Leo for 1 minute, then gave him back. He said he had to leave. I thought he had work, but later I learned he went to see his friends. When I came home, I was very tired. Leo cried at night. I walked with him in my arms. I fed him. I sang to him. James slept in the other room. He said the baby's crying made him tired. One night I woke up to feed Leo. The bed beside me was empty. James was gone. I waited. I called him. His phone was off. In the morning, I saw a note on the table. It said, I can't do this. I'm sorry. I read the note again and again. I sat on the floor. I held Leo close. I felt my Heartbreak, I was alone. I did not know what to do. I had no family near me. My parents lived far away. I did not want to call them. I did not want them to worry. My friend helped me sometimes, but she had her own life. I had to be strong. I started working again when Leo was 3 months old. I asked a neighbor to watch him in the day. I paid her a little money. I took the bus to work. I stood all day. My legs hurt. My eyes felt heavy, but I smiled at people. I said, "How can I help you?" Again and again. At night I came home. I picked up Leo. I kissed his small face. He smiled at me. That smile gave me strength. I said to him, "It's just you and me." Now, one day after work, I went to the shop to buy milk. I was standing in line when I saw James. He was laughing with a woman. She was tall and had long hair. She held his arm. They looked happy. He saw me. His smile stopped. He looked at Leo in my arms. Then he turned and walked away. He did not say hello. He did not ask about his son. He just left. That night I sat on my bed. I thought about that woman. I thought about how James smiled at her. I asked myself, why did he choose her? Why did he leave me when I needed him most? But I knew the answer. He did not want to be a father. He did not want to stay when things got hard. He wanted an easy life, and I was not part of that life. I stopped crying that night. I stopped asking why. I told myself, "You are strong. You can do this." I looked at Leo sleeping in his small bed. He needed me. That was all that mattered. I worked every day. I saved every little coin. I bought second-hand clothes for Leo. I cooked simple food. I never went out. I didn't buy anything for myself, but Leo always had what he needed. One day, my manager at work saw me reading English words on my lunch break. She asked, "Are you trying to learn?" I said, "Yes, I want to help my son with school." Later, she smiled and said, "Keep going. You are doing great." That small word, "great," made me want to try harder. Time passed. Leo grew. He started to walk. He started to laugh. He called me mama and held my hand. People sometimes said, "You look tired." I just smiled and said, "I'm fine," because I was fine. I had no man beside me, but I had my son. I had my will to keep going, and that was enough. Before I share the rest of my story, I need to know, where are you listening from? Knowing someone hears me, understands me, gives me strength. One morning I looked at Leo and saw how much he had grown. His hair was thick and dark, just like mine. His eyes were full of life. He ran around the small room and laughed when I tried to catch him. It was loud. It was messy, but it was joy. He was now 3 years old. He liked cars, books with pictures, and warm soup. He did not ask about his father. He only knew me. I was his whole world. And he was mine. I worked 6 days a week. My neighbors still helped with Leo, but only during the day. In the evening, I came home and gave him a bath. I read him the same story every night. He liked the one about the red truck. Sometimes I was too tired to read, but when he said, "Just one time, Mama," I always said, yes. We did not have much. Our flat was small, the walls were old, the table had a broken leg, but it was clean, it was warm, it was ours. One Sunday I took Leo to the park. He ran to the swings. I pushed him gently. He laughed and shouted, "Hi, Mama." I smiled, but my hands were tired. I looked around. I saw other children with both parents. A woman held her baby while her husband gave the older child a toy. They laughed together. I felt something in my chest. Not anger, not sadness. Just alone. Later we sat on the grass. I gave Leo some crackers. A woman near us smiled and said, "Your boy is very cute." "Thank you," I said. She had soft eyes. She asked, "Is your husband here too?" I paused for a second. Then I said, "No, it's just us." She nodded. "You are doing a good job. I can see it." I did not know what to say. Her words stayed with me. Weeks passed. I kept working, cleaning, saving. I did not go out with friends. I did not buy new clothes. Every coin I saved was for Leo's future, for school, for shoes, for lunch boxes. Then one night, something strange happened. I was taking the bus home after work. I sat near the window, holding a small bag of vegetables. The bus stopped near the train station. A man got on. I looked up and saw James. My chest went cold. He walked past me laughing with someone on his phone. He didn't see me. He looked different. New clothes, new haircut. He sat at the back of the bus. I wanted to move. I wanted to get off. But I stayed. I thought about our life, about the night he left, about the note. I thought about Leo and his smile. When the bus stopped again, James stood up. He saw me. He froze. I looked at him. He looked back. He opened his mouth, but I turned my face to the window. He did not speak. He walked past me and got off. When I reached home, Leo was asleep. I sat beside him on the bed. I touched his small fingers. I whispered, "You are enough." A week later, I got a message on my phone. "Hi, it's James. Can we talk?" I stared at the screen for a long time. I did not reply, but the next evening I saw him outside my building. He stood by the gate holding a paper bag. He looked unsure. "Hi, Isabella," he said. "I just wanted to see you. What do you want?" I asked. My voice was quiet. I was wrong," he said. "I left because I was scared. I didn't know how to be a father. You didn't even try." I said. He looked down. "I know I was weak," He held out the bag. These are some clothes for Leo. I didn't take them. Does he even know you? I asked. No, he said, but I want to be part of his life. Now, I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I said he has a life. He laughs, he plays, he sleeps without crying. You were not there for the hard part. I'm sorry, he whispered. Can I see him? I shook my head. Not now, maybe one day, but not now. He nodded. Okay, I understand. He left the bag at the gate and walked away. I stood there for a long time. I didn't cry, I didn't smile. I just felt quiet. I picked up the bag and went inside. I opened it. There were some new shirts, toy car, and a letter. I did not read the letter. I put it in a box on top of the shelf. The next morning, Leo saw the car. He held it and said, "New car." Yes, I said, "It's yours. From you." He asked. Yes, I said. I smiled. I didn't tell him anything else because Leo didn't need stories. He needed love. That day at work, I felt stronger. I helped a customer with a heavy bag. I cleaned the floor without being asked. I smiled more. I stood straighter. I was a mother. I was enough. Life did not get easy. Bills still came. Leo still got sick. Sometimes, work was still tiring, but my heart was not heavy anymore. I no longer waited for James. I no longer needed him to say sorry. I had something better. I had Leo, and I had myself. Time moved fast. Leo was now 5 years old. He went to a small school near our flat. Every morning I packed his lunch. I held his hand and walked with him to school. He always waved at me before going inside. He smiled and said, "Bye, Mama." That small smile made all my tired days worth it. After dropping him off, I went to work. I still had the same job. It was not easy, but I was thankful. I worked with care. I did not miss a day. I wanted to keep my job because Leo needed everything: food, shoes, clothes, books. Some days I had only a little money left, but I always made sure Leo had what he needed. One evening we sat on the floor. We ate simple food, rice and soup. Leo looked at me and said, "Mama, where's my papa?" My hand stopped. I looked at him. I felt something break inside, but I did not show it. "Your papa lives far away," I said. "Does he come to school?" He asked. "No," I said. "He doesn't live here." "Why?" he asked again. I smiled a little. Sometimes people leave, but I did not leave. "I'm here with you." He thought for a moment, then he said, "That's okay, I have you." I kissed his forehead. I said, "Yes, you have me." Always. After that day, he did not ask again. He was happy with what he had. He did not need more. Some months later, I got a letter. At work, it was from the school. They wanted me to come for a parent meeting. I felt nervous. I had never been to a School meeting. Before, I did not have nice clothes. I did not know the other parents, but I went. The teacher spoke kindly. She said, Leo is a smart boy. He listens. He is kind to others. I smiled. I said, thank you. She looked at me and said, you are doing well. He is lucky to have you. That night I cried a little, not from pain but from something soft in my heart. I did not hear kind words often. Most days I was busy working, cleaning, cooking, running. That one small sentence felt like sunshine. I wanted to give Leo more. I wanted him to grow with hope. So I started saving money again. Little by little I made a small plan. I wanted to move to a better flat. Nothing big, just a place with more light, more space. Room where Leo could have a desk where he could draw or read. It took me one full year. I said no to coffee. I said no to movies. I said no to new shoes. I only said yes to rent, food, and Leo. Then one day I signed the paper. I held the new key in my hand. The flat was small, but the window was big. The sun came in every morning. Leo ran around the room and laughed. He said, it's so big, Mama. We put his books on a low shelf. We made a small bed near mine. I found an old table on sale. I cleaned it well and gave it to him. He called it his study table. That night I lay in bed and looked at the ceiling. I smiled in the dark. I had done it not with help, not with luck, with work, time, and love. Few weeks later I saw James again. I was walking with Leo to school. He was coming from the other side of the street. He looked different. He wore a suit. He had a bag in one hand. He saw us and stopped. I wanted to walk past, but Leo stopped too. He looked at James. James looked at me, then at Leo. He said, hi. Leo looked up at me. I waited. James said, I'm James. I'm your father. Leo blinked. Then he looked at me again. I took his hand and said, let's go. We're late. James stepped back. Wait, please. I just want to talk. I said nothing. Leo looked confused. James said, I know I was not there. I know I made mistakes, but I think of him every day. I want to know him. I turned to Leo. Do you want to say something? Leo shook his head. I looked at James and said, you walked away when he was small. He cried at night and you were not there. I was. I know. He said, I regret it. Said, regret is not enough. He needs someone who stays. James looked down. He said, I understand. I won't push, but if you ever change your mind, I'll wait. I nodded. Thank you for saying that. Then we walked away. Leo held my hand tight. He said, was that really my papa? Yes, I said. Why did he come now? He asked. Because he missed many things, I said. Leo was quiet. Then he said, it's okay, I don't need him. I kissed his head. You are strong. He smiled, like You, that day I knew something for. Sure, I didn't just raise a child. I raised a boy who had love, who had strength, who could forgive but also protect his heart. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. More emotional and inspiring stories are coming.